Is it time to wildcard? When do I use my free hit? How do I plan my chip strategy? Those questions are going to be answered in today's video. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and you're looking forward to game week 3. But look, I've been slightly ironic today, been slightly cheeky with my title. This isn't really a chip strategy guide. This isn't how to use your chips or when to use them. This is about me telling you to play your own game. And look, FPL has changed. We now have double chips. And with that, we got to start to think for ourselves a little bit because look, historically, we've used our chips towards the second half of the season around the double game weeks, and there's been a fairly optimal chip strategy to follow. And you guys watching have probably followed the advice of your favorite content creators. Hopefully I'm in that category, and you've gone, he's playing that chip strategy or she's playing that chip strategy. I think that's probably the optimal one. And if it's not the optimal, there's ones and variations of it. And we've always gone into the doubles and blanks with you can play strategy 1, strategy 2, or strategy 3. This season, that will happen. And for the second part of the season, I'm sure that advice is going to be really appreciated. But guys, rip it up and start again when we're talking chip strategy for the first half of this season. You should not be hanging off every word of your favorite content creator because there are no doubles and blanks to plan around. This is about using chips in the first half of the season because we now get double chips, using it to suit your team. It is individual to you. Therefore, because I'm bench boosting in game week 2 doesn't mean it's the optimal play for you. Because I'm wildcarding in game week 13 doesn't mean it's the optimal play for you. We have to play based on the squads we've got. And I'm hoping we've all got very different squads. So we're going to run through the chips and I'm just going to give you my 2 pence worth on each of them. But guys, FPL is a game of fun. It has to be. Games have to be fun. When you're making your own decisions and you select a player's captain or you bring someone in on a transfer and they bang, there is no better feeling knowing that came from here. Maybe you hear people's advice and I'm hoping you watch my videos for that. We can give you the information, but we can't pick your teams for you. Now, with chip strategy, it's often been a case of, I'm going to follow others. 90% of people do it. I've probably been guilty of it myself. We look at strategies and we go, that person's playing that strategy, that's the optimal one to follow. Doesn't work for the first half of this season. Use your chips when it works. So let me give you an example. Bench boost. I bench boosted last week. Everyone I know told me not to. In fact, our Ultras members who I love, who are hopefully watching this, I had 10 responses to a poll I did in our WhatsApp group. All 10 of them said, don't play it. Now, I didn't absolutely bang. I got 6 points from Dubravka. Dewsbury Hall got like 2, Williams 2, and Guiu 1. 11 points, fine. And Palmer didn't play, so it was more like 9 points. I was happy with that 9. I got a clean sheet from Dubravka. I can now focus on when I wildcard a thinner squad, whatever. It was fine. There will be better weeks and there'll be considerably worse weeks. I think that was the right call for me and my team. And you guys have to look at that the same. Like with bench boost, ask yourself the question, do I want to bench boost before or after my wildcard? And then look at all the weeks and the permutations and when might suit your team. We'll go through them one by one, but with bench boost, so individual to your team, okay? Remember, we've got to use all these chips before game week 19. Let's move on to the other chips, though. Triple captain. Again, it's single game weeks. It's going to be high variance. As always, it's got to come from here. We'll be targeting the top 2 players in the game and when they play the newly promoted teams. Now, Haaland plays the 3 newly promoted teams all before game week 19. You can triple captain Haaland, game week 6 versus Burnley. You've then got the Leeds option and you've got the Sunderland option before the new year. Mo Salah only plays one of them before game week 19, and then he's away at AFCON for the other, right? So you've got a Mo Salah option too. Of course, you might look at other teams to target. It might just not be the newly promoted teams. We might be targeting West Ham. Who knows? So again, and it doesn't have to be those 2 players. It's up to you. Back your instincts on that one. Don't just wait for the crowd. Of course, there will be more optimal weeks than other, unlike bench boost. Free hit. A lot of people are free hitting this week. I did a free hit video yesterday. You can go check that out on this channel. In fact, guys, I've done a wildcard and a free hit video this week to try and present you information as to what those teams might look like. So if you do want to see those vids, I'll link them at the end of this. Free hit, again, it comes down to your squad. There are people free hitting this week because they got loads of injuries. absolutely good call to do it. If you've got 4 flags and you don't want to make major surgery to your team, if you own 8 Nori, you own Frimpong, you own Saka, you own Palmer, it's a great week to free hit. You might own loads of Arsenal and Liverpool players. Again, you might not want them going head to head. It's a great week to free hit. But if it works for your team, it's a rubbish free hit team for me this week. I think my free hit team versus my actual team might be similar scoring, right? But for others, it'll be a really good week. Again, look at the weeks ahead. Where do loads of your players play each other in what you think will be a low scoring game, like Arsenal, Liverpool? Where might there be a really high upside fixture where you're definitely not going to have cover? Game week 6 might be a week you go because you might go, I'm going to own no Man City players. And in game week 6, they play Burnley and I know I want triple City. Bit like game week 2, loads when I want to target Arsenal leads. I want Gyökeres captain. I'm going to free hit. And those that did were highly rewarded. But it works or it doesn't work, remember, always for your team. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, by the way, if you do one thing today, let me make a deal with you. If you've got something from this video or you've enjoyed it, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. That'd be really, really appreciated. Wildcard. There are I say obvious. Every season there are obvious wildcard windows, big fixture swings. All these teams have really good fixtures to that point, and then all these teams have really good fixtures from then on. That's my wildcard window at that threshold. There isn't really any obvious massive swings this season. There are for a few teams, don't get me wrong. Arsenal, terrible start. I think it's around game week 7, 8. They get good fixtures. You could say similar for Man City. There'll be a wildcard window around game week 6. There'll be a wildcard window maybe around game week 12, 13. But again, how does it work for your team? The good thing is about wildcard is you can plan it. We can be quite reactionary with like bench boost. Oh, it's this week I've got a good bench. Same with triple captain. Maybe even same with free hit. With wildcard, that is one that does need some planning, guys, because you need to know roughly your wildcard window to then think about either dead ending into that wildcard window or maximizing it off the back of the wildcard and rolling transfers, for example. So wildcards do need a bit of thought. But again, you don't need to know right here, right now when you're wildcarding. I know loosely, I want to make sure I'm high on Arsenal and Man City when their fixtures turn. And if I'm not going to be, perhaps I'll wildcard. But again, I don't know what happens between then and now. So again, I don't have a solid booked in, but I know a few weeks before our wildcard, I'll know when that's going to happen. But again, guys, play your own game. If there's one message to take from this video, it really is that we have to start thinking for ourselves around the chips for the first half of the season, because there isn't going to be an optimal strategy. Second half of the season, it will be obvious around the doubles and the blanks. Unless something drastic happens, really bad weather, or the Queen dies again, or whatever, right? You're not going to get double game weeks in the first part of the season, or COVID hits again. You know, it's very unlikely we're going to get blanks and doubles. And if we're not getting blanks and doubles, there's no clear strategy to maximize those blanks and doubles. Therefore, use your chips when you want. I've got so many people asking me, should I free hit this week? Yeah, if you've got loads of injuries. I've got people saying, should I wildcard this week? I'm like, well, yeah, if you hate your team and you don't have Salah and you don't have Haaland and your spends all over the place or whatever, you've got to just back your instincts and hopefully get advice from others and hopefully watch content and enjoy it. But don't let content creators make your decisions for you. And I'm seeing so much of that. And guys, it's a much more fun game when you're thinking for yourself. So look, thank you. I'm sorry about the rant. I'm sorry it's a slightly different video today without the bells and whistles. But I just wanted to say that. I think it's an important message. I will bring you chip strategy updates throughout the season when relevant, when there's clearer paths. I will bring you wildcard window videos. But right here, right now, when we're talking about chips like bench boost and free hit, reactionary stuff that's team dependent, guys, hit the button if that's what you feel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in 24 hours.